Okay, so now I'm going to show how to open Visual Studio and from scratch create a new FLTK program using Visual Studio 2017. So I'm going to start with a completely new project. So under Visual C++, I'm going to use a Win32 project. I don't think any of these other things are relevant. I'm going to change where it's going to put all this stuff. C:/temp. I don't know why there are two names here, but Erco test. Okay, fine. And Win32. I don't want to make a console application. If I do that, when you double click on the application to run it, it'll pop up a DOS window. That's useful if you want to have printf statements, but it's not usually useful if you're just doing a GUI application. You can always change it later in the linker options. You can tell it to be a console application so you can use printfs. But I'm not going to do that. So here I've learned that these two are what you want, either Windows or console. I don't know why it's asking for this again, but you don't want these. Even though you might want to link your program as a static application. That's not what these are for. I think these two guys are for building libraries. So if you were going to build a library like FLTK, you would use these things, but we're not. We're building an application. So I'm going to go with Windows Application and empty project, just because I know that if I don't do this by default, Visual Studio will create all these stupid little .h and .c files that we don't need. We'd have to get rid of. You don't need any of the native Windows source files. So we're going to create a new source file, add new C++ file. I think is all we're going to need. I don't know what all this is over here. Sure, just add it. I want to just call it main.c. And in here, I'm going to write a quick little FLTK program. So, smallest FLTK program I could think of should be good enough to build and link. So, it's complaining about these two guys that can't find the include files. Not surprised, we haven't told the compiler anything about FLTK yet. There are two things that the compiler should need to know about FLTK. One is the include directory, where to find the .h files, and the other is where to find the lib files during linking. And additionally, there might be some flags that we have to change to make it match building this program the same way that FLTK is built, dynamic versus static, and things like that. So I'm going to right click on the project properties and attempt to set the include directories that we need. So under C++, so they have, the way I take it, this is all laid out, is they've got sections for all the different C compiler flags. And then under all options, they've just got them all. So you don't have to go through all these stupid things. You can just go into all options and find what you're looking for. It's a big list, but it's better than going through these individual dialogues. But unfortunately, it's all alphabetical. That's not broken into sections that are clear, so you have to kind of read this whole mess. So what I'm looking for is where to specify the include directories, and I also want to make sure precompiled header is turned off, because if that isn't off, I think you get these weird errors about precompiled headers, which I don't care about. So let's go fish here. Where in this list do we set the include files? You would think alphabetically it would be I for include files, but no. Additional include directories. Yeah, that's what I want. So I know that when I built FLTK, it's all under this FLTK 14.x build directory. However, and I think this is a mistake in the build thing. There's an FL directory in build which only has one file in it, the ABI version.h file, which is built automatically by the CMake system, I think. And then there's the actual FLTK source include files, which are in the directory up1. I think I need to specify both of these because that ABI file is not in here, and I know it needs it to build. But if I were to point it to the ABI directory, it wouldn't find all this stuff. So I need to specify both of these. So under include directories, I'm going to put c:/FLTK-14x semicolon c:/FLTK 14x build. And under that is an FL directory as well. So by adding those two, it should find what it needs. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in here. I do want to make sure that I'm building a dynamic, here, multi-threaded dynamic, the MD flag, because I know that by default FLTK builds with this. So if I change this to static, I'll get all kinds of errors because I didn't build FLTK with the same flag. So I'm going to leave it with the MD multi-threaded DLL. So I'm going to hit apply. I do actually want to make sure that I'm building, let me close this. I want to make sure I'm building a release version, not a debug version. So release, and x86 is correct for when I built FLTK. I didn't change it. Now I know that sometimes when you change this, when you go into properties, like all your properties can disappear, but no, it looks like they're still there. So we've set up the include directories. That's the first step. And then the second step is to go into the linker settings, and again they've got all these different dialogues, and then under all options they've got everything. So I know I need to specify the fltk.lib, which is, I forgot where that is. It's either under the build directory in lib, yes, under release. Okay, so there it is. So this path is the directory. So I need to go in here and find where I specify the extra libraries. And well, add module to assembly. I don't think that's it. Additional dependencies, library directories. I guess putting that here would be the right thing to do. And then somewhere I have to specify fltk.lib. I'm not sure if I should put that here or I don't think I should put it here, because if I hit apply and then go look at the command line, it's putting this path into the lib path. So if I were to put a .lib on the end of this, that wouldn't work. If I want to put a .lib, it would be here. But I guess I can just stick it in here as an additional option. So if I stick this, the actual path to the lib, complete path, and hit apply, I think that'll stick it in the linker flags in such a way that it's in the right place. Now it looks like the default Visual Studio gives us all of this, but I know that there's other files that I need for this to work right. And what I'm going to do, I think, is go look in the build directory for FLTK to see what the names of all the libs are that it needed to build against. One way to do that is to look at one of the test programs, like the Hello World. So I think I'll do that. So let me go looking around in the Hello Program directory. Search the build directory for hello. So we're looking for logs here. And then the linker flags are in here. So the linker flags should have the list of libraries, here they are, including the FLTK lib. so I'm going to skip that because I already specified that. But this list is all of the libraries that I need. I think I just have to grab all this extra crap. And let's put that aside. Let's put that aside. So, so instead of this list, I want to specify my list. So I'm going to go find where in the all options that big list is, which it looks like it's here. So I want to really replace this list with my own. So I'm going to cut and paste and then get rid of these extra flags that got stuck in the paste from Notepad. Okay, so here's the list of libraries. So I'm going to hit enter on that. Hit apply. So that should ensure that all of the right lib files that we need from Microsoft Windows anyway are included into this build. And then also that one extra thing that I added on the command line to find the FLTK lib. Now there might be other FLTK libs I would need, like FLTK images if I were working with images, but I'm not. I'm just doing a simple program here. So I know that everything my program does is just in FLTK lib. I don't need the images. So let's see if this builds. Right click, build. So it should find the includes. Looks like the little red lines under the word include went away. But it looks like I blew something here. So what cannot open input file? Alright, so, oh, do I need to put semicolons between all of these? Yeah, let's change that. So that was in here at the top, I think. Yeah. So I think I just have to replace all of the spaces with semicolons. If this was a Makefile, I'd be done by now. Whoops. Okay, so hit enter, hit apply, build. Okay, so it built successfully, no failures. So now I'd like to run the thing. I have never figured out where you click to run the program. Here's build, here's rebuild, here's clean. Where's run? Project only. Run code analysis. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to run the fucking thing. Where in here do you run the program? And all these tool things and nothing for run. Over here, undo. And the right click in here, I mean there's no excuse for not having it in here. Or in one of these frickin' things. No. Where's run? Seriously. We're all about building an executable. The next thing you want to do is run it. In fact, the only things you want to do are rebuild and run. Maybe you make clean every once in a while. Come on. Tools? No. Running is not a tool. I wouldn't expect it under debug because I'm not debugging. Build is where it should be. Project maybe also. Run the project? I don't know, project can be a lot of executables, so probably not. It should be under here. Build. Where is it? Run. No? 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 Fuck you. Well, at least it told us where the executable is in here, so I can copy it and then run it. So there's my window, 800 by 600. There's the title. That's all I told it to do. Let me add one more thing. I'll just add a button to it. And stick on the end here. Comma 10, 100 wide, 25 high, call it button, semicolon. Save. Build. There's no shortcut for build? Why isn't there a shortcut for build? And rebuild? I mean, give me a break. Alright, so that succeeded, no surprise. So now if I run it, I should get my window with a button. Yep. Okay, that's it. So I'm doing a little follow-up here. I wanted to see how hard it would be to just compile this little test program from the command line, because the IDE was a giant pain in the ass. So I'm going to try opening a DOS window here. Tools, DOS, command prompt. So this should give me a prompt with the Visual Studio environment already set up, and yeah, so I should be able to run the compiler. Oh, okay. Looks like they don't set up the environment. Yeah, I think they have some direct little batch file or something that you have to load. Where's it under tools? Oh, yeah, is that it? vs dev command, vs build command. I'm gonna guess it's one of these. If I can get the compiler to run, then it, nope, this one. Okay, that looks good. So the compiler and the linker are the only commands we should need. So let me go into the temp directory where I know the project is. It's in Urco test, I think. And yeah, main.cpp. So yeah, let's just copy this thing to c:temp. Let's type that correctly. And okay, I'm going to try to compile this just by winging it. So I know that /tp that tells it to compile a C++ program. I know I need this MD flag, and I'm going to tell it to just compile a .obj out of the main.cpp. And I also have to do those same includes. So include, I don't know, do you need to do that? C: FLTK14X and C: FLTK14X build. So I still need to specify those two include directories, and I think that's all I should need. Okay, whoops. Looks like it didn't like the C flag here. Was it one on the end? What the hell's your problem? Maybe here? Maybe it's got to be lowercase. Oh, and what the hell? Build CPP? It's called main.cpp. So there we go. So that should have built an OBJ, and then linking it should just be link and then main.obj, and then that list of libraries that are Microsoft Windows. Well, we know we need the FLTK library, 14X, build, lib. I think it was down one under releases, or release, and then FLTK.lib, okay. And that list, I'm gonna have to go fish for that. Let's see, I'm just gonna hit return on this and hit break. There's no break key on this keyboard. So, yeah, I'm gonna go looking for the hello log file. So subdirectories space of FLTK 14x build and then test and look for hello.tlog, I think it was. Okay. When we built FLTK, it built the hello program among other things. And so I'm just going to look at the linker flags, which is this link command.1.tlog, which is the same file I looked at when I was setting up the IDE. Here's that list of all the libs, and cut and paste in DOS Windows is a little bit dumb, so I'm going to have to copy more than I need here. So link, so I'm going to go back. How am I going to get just what I need? Because that's a long list. I think I'll make a Makefile. So main.obj is based on main.cpp, and main.exe is based on main.obj. And here's the list of libraries, and let me edit it. So what I'm going to do is make a link command and set the output file to be main.exe, and then put a backslash, and then specify the path to the FLTK lib. What was it again? Build release, build lib release FLTK.lib, and then this list. Alright, I'm going to put backslashes on the end of all this, so this all ends up being one line. I don't need any of this stuff. So I've told it to link and write out the main.exe, told it where the FLTK lib directory is, gave it this list of all the Windows libraries that it needs. I also need to specify the .obj, so main.obj. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, subsystem Windows, which tells it to be a Windows application instead of console. I think that's it. We're just linking the lib and all of the Microsoft libraries and the main.obj into a main.exe. So, and up here, I'm going to use that same command that I ran before, this one, and I'm just going to stick that into the Makefile right here. So now I've got the target to make main.obj and main.exe. I'm going to tell it the default target is going to be main.exe, so that when I just type make, it builds the main.exe. And I'll make a clean target down here too. Oops, looks like I don't need this backslash on the end. So clean colon and delete main.exe, delete main.obj. Alright, so that should work. And yeah, in Windows you don't use make, I think it's nmake. So that looks good. Yeah, no errors. So I think that means it made a main.exe, which should open my little application window with the button, I think, or without the, with the button. So that was easy. And yeah, let's see, make clean. Oh, whoops. Nmake clean. My hands are used to typing make. And then nmake. That rebuilds everything. So, yeah, easy. And main.cpp, I'll add 2 buttons just to show that I can. Button 2, button 1, nmake. Main.exe. So I find that to be a much easier way to manage code in this Makefile. I mean, you learn more about what you need to know. You learn what the command line flags are. If you're not sure, you can always look at the help, which I think is this way. So you can page through, look all the flags this way. Don't have to pull up the manual. Yeah, you really have control over what you're doing. I mean, I don't feel like I'm out of control this way, and I can do search and replace, and look for duplicates, make sure I've got all the right flags, change them, look them up. It's just easy, and look at how quickly it compiles. I mean, make clean and make, it's like instant. Whereas I do a rebuild on this thing, right click, I'm still waiting for the dialog to open. Come on, open up. Right click, rebuild. How long is this going to take? Yeah, wait. Rebuild, all projects started. Who knows what it's doing right now? Look at this thing. Rebuild started. Making this little animation. It's not even started compiling yet. What the fuck is going on? Just build the fucking thing. There, now it's done. And I never did figure out how to run the goddamn thing, but it's somewhere here. Who needs this? Who needs the hassle? The only thing that's nice about this is it tells you, what the command line flags are when you're typing them in. Gives you some online help, but I don't know. I mean, it's a lot more trouble than it's worth. So anyway, here's the Makefile. You can do it yourself. Let me go back and just review. Let's see, where's that dir command? There it is. So in here you can also look at the command line for the compiler, which has a lot of extra stuff in it that I didn't use, but I know I don't need it. But it has all kinds of includes for libraries I'm not, libraries I'm not using, like the zlib and png. I don't even know why it's doing that. Lean and mean. I mean, there's a lot of flags in here that we probably don't need. One flag I should have put in here, which I can't remember off the top of my head, is the full warnings flag, which I think is this one. I could look it up with the CL/?, but I'm not going to. And I know a lot of these other flags are, I don't know, not really needed, optimizers and so forth. And probably some of these /Ds should really be set. Maybe not that one, but maybe some of these. But it seemed to compile okay without. I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't need those. But oh yeah, and EHC I think you're always supposed to have. That's for throwing exceptions, which I'm not doing in my code, and I don't think FLTK uses exceptions either. And then all this stuff for, I don't know, manifest and precompiled include files and whatever the hell else. Anyway, that's that.